What up, everybody? How we doing? I'm Lucky. Channel's Game On. We just keep on gaming on. Bringing you my reaction to the Mafia Old Country trailer and the developer direct they had at PAX East. I think that's what it was. Let's check it out. Now let's start right off with the trailer. Now, full disclosure, I haven't played any of these games.
Come in.
Hangar
Bravery
13
is
is the
not
studio.
common in this world, and so loyalty, honor, obedience.
First thing I look at in the characters, I look at the eyes. The eyes look good.
You took care of Messina, but this matter is not yet resolved. Will you help me bring it to a close?
Ooh, the lighting looks good. So they
Of
drop that
course.
torch.
Tantarisi.
That lamp, excuse me. Don Tracy. Huh. Okay. Reminds me a little bit of the Uncharted gameplay, to be honest. I played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Great games. Wow. Ooh, look how pretty that room looks. The colors are so vibrant. Looks really good. Must be Unreal Engine 5, right? Here we go, little Red Dead Redemption on top of it.
You again.
I mean, this looks like what Indiana Jones could be if it was just more action-packed, right? Now that looks pretty cool. It's gonna be knife fighting, and I know that. Looks like a little bit of Hollywood knife fight, though, you know. Okay, that looks really good. Sounded cool, looked interesting. Let's check the developer direct and hear what they have to say about it. Then we'll go into the price, check out some other stuff on it, see what the other games ranked out as of Metacritic, and
Hey everyone, I'm Nick Baines, president of Hangar 13. We hope you enjoyed this new look at gameplay in Mafia the Old Country. We're just 3 short months away now from getting this game in your hands, and we can't wait. Mafia the Old Country is an origin story.
wow. Hold on a second here. Let's just take a look at this. This is stunning. Oh my god, dude. This is one of the most realistic looking settings I've seen in a video game right here, for sure. I didn't think the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailers looked this good. Look at the lighting here in the shadow. How it blends right in there. So good. All the textures here. And so much detail in it. Unreal Engine 5 is going to be so good. Look at the cars that's coming along. You can see it shining right here. Ray tracing looks so good. Okay, let's move on.
For the Mafia universe, and as such, it's both
Now here it looks a little bit like fuzzier, doesn't it? I don't know if that's because it's supposed to be a foggy day or something like that, but you definitely tell the difference here. Love the countryside, by the way. Is it this Sicily? It's where it's taking place, I think.
a step forward and a return to the fundamentals of the franchise. The heart of Mafia has always been deep, immersive storytelling, and Mafia the Old Country is no exception.
I just gotta say for a second, love the way he says Mafia. Mafia, the old country. Look at that. He's that intense about the game, too.
It's a premium experience in the vein of early Mafia games, with
That was the weakest ass shot I've ever seen. Where is that? Go back 1 second. You really gonna say that
a
was a
linear
strike?
narrative, immersive storytelling, and Mafia the Old Country is no exception. It's a premium experience in the vein of early Mafia games, with a
Didn't
linear
even try.
narrative set against the stunning, authentic backdrop of 1900 Sicily. That focus
Wow. The settings in Unreal Engine 5, it's not just this game, it's other games I've seen too. It's just unbelievably good. The brightness of it, the lighting, the contrast and the ray tracing, I think are some of the best I've ever seen. And by a noticeable difference too.
of 1900 Sicily. That focus has allowed us to deliver a classic organised crime drama in the period authentic Mafia rules and traditions of the era. And as you just saw, we've made some exciting gameplay updates. Whether you're using a knife or a gun, using stealth or in a shootout, this is brutal and grounded in all the best ways. It's
He shoots like I do, every 1 out of 3 hits. No, that'd be cool to be able to throw a knife like that. I can't remember the last game that was really that cool where it was hand-to-hand knife combat where you could throw them, get close with them, and then pull out a pistol and start shooting. Interesting.
all going to pull you in from every angle, pushing the franchise forward in a location and time painstakingly created with the utmost authenticity and detail using Unreal Engine 5. Stick around, because next up is our development team, who have loads of awesome behind-the-scenes insights on how we brought this title to life. And stay tuned between now and August, as we'll have even more to tell and show. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Come in.
Our top goal for every Mafia game is to deliver the promise to a player that you're going to play a classic mob movie. Mafia the old
You know, they actually have made, what are they, 4 games now, 3 games now, 1, 2, and 3. The definitive edition 2, where they remastered the original one. And so they understand this concept, right? How to make a mob movie into a game and make it enjoyable and make it great, because everybody that's played these games said they love them. I know a lot of people that are just like really excited about it. That's the reason I wanted to review this and check it out. But they've kept that concept for over 20 years now.
Country is a linear crime drama set against a beautiful Sicilian backdrop. The first step for us was to make sure that we were nailing all of the things that players expect from a Mafia game. The quality of its storytelling, how immersive it is, how authentic it is. Previous Mafia games have been set in big American cities. We've taken the action and we've put our story in rural Sicily, in the place where the Mafia began.
You really feel like you're transported into another time. It feels really unique and different, but yet really familiar. Players are really going to enjoy that aspect of it.
Our
I think changing the story like this can work in this setting. But I'm curious now how there's going to be as much crime going on out in the country. You know what I mean? What banks are there to rob out there? There's only one crime syndicate out there. There must be another gang or something going on that we're not aware of yet. Maybe it's an inner turmoil between the family members or something. I'm not sure what, but the more rural you make it, the less action there is, I would think.
Entry point for making these crime dramas is always the protagonist. We wanted to make sure that our main character, Enzo Favara.
So like I said, the first thing I look at when I look at a character like this, the character model, in the animation, is the face, and especially the eyes. That's where you're going to get all the emotion from, and that's where all the story is going to be told, through the character development and the scene being played out for me, personally. It all starts and ends there. This is great. This is fantastic. You can see real life inside of there.
We wanted to make sure that our
perfect example is a game, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Every one of those characters looks alive. Every time you see their face and look in their eyes, you can tell exactly what they're feeling and what they're thinking.
main character, Enzo Favara, lives up to the standard which we've set in the past, and I hope in some ways even exceeds that.
All of the men in this room are bound by blood.
I love that
Enzo
voice.
grows up in a sulfur mine. He's one of a bunch of children that are sold to the mine owners at this point in history in Sicily. Their life.
Damn, man. Really? They had slaves in sulfur mines in Sicily back then? That is hardcore. You know he's going to be a hard man. So he probably really appreciates the family, everything they've given him, right? Probably a super loyal guy. And hard, too.
Expectancy is short, and they're essentially seen as disposable.
Enzo turns to crime as a means to make something of himself. The odds are stacked against him. So what does he do? He sees an opportunity for himself to gain some status, to gain some respect.
Do you wish to commit to this family?
I do.
Swearing the oath is the chance for him to finally be accepted. He's found a family. It's the thing he's been searching for his entire life, but it comes at a cost.
I think players are in for an emotional roller coaster. The high stakes of the Mafia life present opportunities for us as storytellers to take players and put players through the ringer, really, in terms of what happens to the character, what happens to them in the game.
You again.
What makes a really compelling gameplay experience is the mix of the high-intensity combat, cover play, cover shooting, set by these beautiful cinematics that make what you do in the combat so much more meaningful because you're fighting.
That was really funny when he reached over above his head, shot backwards with the gun. I think it was a shotgun, blew that guy away. I mean, it's not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be fun, right? A lot of these look pretty cool for cutscenes, but I'm interested. I don't see any actual, like, real gameplay, I don't think.
Something you really believe.
Like, this is a little cinematic.
Authenticity and immersion are key. And so we wanted to take that
Another
philosophy
cinematic right here,
from
I
the
think.
storytelling and make sure that it was consistent in the gameplay.
You know, whether you come for that core cover combat shooting experience or that white knuckle driving experience, we have that in Mafia the Old Country, but it's unique.
There's some downbeats, there's some deep storytelling moments, and then there's some like high intensity action. And I think that's what makes Mafia missions and the general experience so interesting is that we're constantly trying to change that roller coaster experience that you're on.
Enzo's proving himself with guns, and we wanted the combat to feel like there was a scarcity of resources, so you have to be more tactical in
Right.
the way that you approach combat. The knife has been an integral part of gameplay. It's a part of Sicilian culture.
We wanted our gameplay to be immersive, to have a life or death kind of vibe. So when
I really like that. Really adds a little bit of suspension tension to all the gameplay. One thing I was worried about was a bunch of shooting and stuff like that, and being like having way too much supplies and stuff like that, and making it way too easy. But having to hunt, scrap for stuff, having to use your knife to take enemies out, not being able to just shoot every enemy with like 15 bullets and like mow them down and murder your way through the game. I think it's really, really good, really smart, especially out in the country like that. I suspect there's just not going to be that many enemies, right? There shouldn't be. There should be more of a game of stealth and guile.
when players are in a knife duel, when they're in a gunfight, they're genuinely fearing for their lives.
My flesh must burn like this saint if I do not keep my oath.
Damn commercials.
Bringing 1900 Sicily to life for us, it infuses every aspect of the development. It's about the characters, it's about the music, it's about the story, it's about the setting, it's about the vistas, it's about the vehicles, it's everything. It always starts with research, it always starts with immersing ourselves in the subject matter. So whether that's reading every crime book around the Sicilian Mafia, watching all of the movies, even driving the cars, firing the weapons, and then translating that into the game, that's the development experience.
We even sent some folks out to Sicily. We were then able to take all of those experiences and try to translate it into an on-screen experience, but also a story. And those two things are woven together in a way that I think players are going to really enjoy.
Bravery is not common in this world, and so
The Mafia that we see in Mafia the Old Country is much different than the Mafia that we see in some of the other Mafia games. It's a time-honored tradition steeped in secrecy, and there's this sort of deep honor that we see within the Teresi family and within the characters there.
The characters' relationships with each other, the way they behave, is very much influenced by that setting and that cultural difference.
This is a distinctive experience that I've never played before, and I'm sure that players are going to feel the same.
Super interesting. I wonder how many characters you get to play as. Just the one main character? Seems like father, the dawn of the family, is going to be a big part of the story. I saw a girl on a horseback there. I bet she's going to be part of the story. I wonder how many characters actually be integral parts we get to play as and kind of get behind the scenes and inside the head of, versus just talking to them, interacting with them.
Mafia the Old Country is our first Unreal 5 game in the studio, and it's particularly suited to the Sicilian setting.
We've really been able to push the boat out in terms of sort of the real tiny details on everything.
You know, one of the big ones for me is metahuman. You have characters that have really lifelike expressions, micro details.
Yeah,
you know, many
sure.
times when I'm watching the game, especially on a big screen in 4K, I start to forget that they're characters rendered in an engine. They just look like real characters in a movie. I think that's the level of immersion that we want, and it allows people, I think, to really suspend their disbelief and go along for the ride.
100% agree with that. Couldn't agree more with it. More alive and better you make those characters look, the more involved people are going to be in the story, the more attached they're going to get to it, right? The more it's going to suck you in. You're going to feel it.
So
This
he's
looks great.
beautifully
This looks
rendered in
fantastic, by the way,
game,
graphically.
And I think he's one of the most compelling game characters we've seen for a long time.
The thing I'm most excited about from Mafia the
Ready
Old
to play a
Country
gangster.
is finally getting the game in players' hands.
The story pulls you through really quickly, and at the end, it takes your breath away, and it's one that you're not going to want to spoil for your friends.
The visuals and the storytelling are absolutely next level.
Our setting's completely distinctive. Our story's completely
Ow.
unique. This is a game that you haven't played before. The best crime stories have unforgettable twists, and this game's no exception. Players are in for a treat.
welcome, Enzo.
That voice, man. Smokes a lot of cigars. Cool. So that is coming August 8th, 2025, guys, this year. I'm so excited for that. So let's go over here to Steam and check it out real quick. August 8th, 2025, developed by Hangar 13, published by 2K Publishing, Big Time Publisher, excuse me. It is $49.99 for the standard version, $59.99 for the deluxe, which is incredible. I'm really impressed by how many games right now are a really fair price. I'm surprised, actually, to be honest with you. Kazan, $50, or it was $60 actually. Excuse me. Play Obscure, $60. What was the other one that was really good this year? That was like $60, and there was another one. I was really surprised with it. And then you have Nintendo putting out $80 games for the Switch too. Get out of here. Come on. Now, let's check it out. What the difference between the deluxe and the standard edition is. Standard, you get the base game. That's it, right? Obviously. And then you get the pre-purchase bonuses with the deluxe pack, which is Padrino pack. Well, you get the Soldado pack too with the base game as a pre-purchase bonus, and with the deluxe version. Also with the deluxe version, you get the Padrino pack, the Gato Nero pack, and the digital art book and original soundtrack. That's pretty standard, right? Art book and soundtrack. That's in every single one. What's the Gato pack and Padrino and Soldado pack? Let's check those out. Padrino pack is like looks like some kind of car skin, a suit, and a horse. Gato Nero looks like a character skin and a car skin. And the pre-purchase is a knife. Full base game Padrino pack. Lapara Special shotgun. Ooh, you get a pistol, a shotgun, a charm, an outfit, a knife, limousine, and a horse. That's really good, man. Really good. So that one is part of the deluxe pack. You get a pistol, a charm, an outfit, and a race car in the Gato pack. So you get all of that as part of the deluxe kit. You just get a knife as a pre-order. Soldado outfit, knife, horse, and charm. Yeah. I heard that charm was actually pretty good. Pre-purchase Mafia the Old Country Standard Edition or Deluxe Edition to receive the Soldado pack featuring distinctive cosmetics and a helpful charm. Cool. Mafia the Old Country. Uncover the origins of organized crime in Mafia the Old Country. A gritty mob story set in the brutal underworld of 1900 Sicily. Fight to survive as Enzo Favara. Prove your worth to Cosa Nostra. Submersive third-person action-adventure set during a dangerous, unforgiving era. I'm ready for another Nathan Drake-style game. Uncharted, right? I love that game, dude. It was so good. So I hope there's some puzzles and stuff like this you have to solve. I hope there's actually some good storytelling in it. As far as like twists and turns and depths. I hope it's not just like a straightforward linear, go here, pick this up, deliver that, fetch quest this, courier that. I hope we have to make like real decisions and sacrifice members of the family and stuff like that. Stuff that matters, you know? Now it is Unreal Engine 5. See if we find anything else about it here. So these are the prices for it. I got this off IGN. Amazon has it for $49.99. GameStop $49.99. PS Store $49.99. Pretty much $49.99 across the board. PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5 for the base version. Deluxe is $69 or $60 basically, $59.99 across the board as well. PS5, Xbox, and PC. This is all the stuff about the pre-order bonus also. We already read all that. Now, I know there's a lot of people excited about it. I don't know exactly how many pre-orders there are. You can come over here and you can pre-order it right on the website here at 2K Publishing themselves. That's where this is. Pre-purchase offer available from Mafia the Old Country, Deluxe Edition until launch. Now, it is just digital. There are no hard copies of the game. One interesting thing to know for everybody who likes to collect. You won't be able to collect this yet. Maybe later on they'll come out with a hard copy, but right now they don't. Now, if we look at the old Mafia games, let's check out like Mafia, the Definitive Edition, which is the remake of the original, and how it rated out at Steam. Mostly positive. Only 1,000 scores there, but 71,000 very positive, which is really good. I don't know how many sales it had or whatnot, but looks like it was decently well received. It's $5 right now, $5.99. That's crazy, 85% off. Damn. Now you can buy the Mafia Trilogy right now for 34% off. $11, wow, for 1, 2, and 3. That is incredibly cheap. Wow. And then get the Definitive Edition, which is the remake of the first one, for $5.99. You've got all 4 of them. Then you get ready for Mafia the Old Country when it comes out. I do expect this to be a huge step up from these games. They're supposedly like very fun, interactive games, but there was like quite a bit of emptiness in the worlds and stuff like that, from what I understand. I expect these to be action-packed the whole time, even though it's linear and not open world like, I don't know, Mafia 3 was. Now, if we come over to Mafia 2 on Metacritic, it got ranked at a 74, which is okay, right? I mean, it's not great. Generally favorable user score. This is supposedly one of the better ones. To read a good score and a bad score. A perfect blend of Mafia story and gameplay. This game is astonishingly beautiful in respect to the story, gameplay, and even characters feel so alive that it doubts to be a 14-year-old game. The changing seasons with progressing story is just so good. This game is good in every aspect. That's cool. Give us 10 out of 10. Let's find a really bad score. Here we go. Because this one looks good. Mafia 2 is a great disaster for all the fans. Bad graphics, stupid main character, very short story. This is not what we were waiting for. Vito is the worst character ever. He is dumb. He is non-profitable. Wants only money. He doesn't. Girls, stupid and boring mafiosi. Remember first game? Tommy Angelo is alive. Not this Cipollini Vito. In this game, only final is good. So if want cry, play this game. So yeah, no more. Just GTA clone. But overall, got a decent score. Let's see what Mafia, the original Mafia 3 got. Ooh, got an even worse score. So looks like they went down in quality as they start. Well, it's actually, I don't know. The second one was definitely the highest rated one out of them all, except for the definitive edition, which is the remake. Curious to see what goes on with this. We'll definitely be there checking it out. Sicily. Very curious to see how accurate it is to Sicily. Where exactly is Sicily? Okay, it's by Greece over there. Oh, it's right south of Rome. I didn't know that. Really close to Africa and Tunisia. Tunis? Huh, that's part of Sicily, that little island right there. Wonder what part of Sicily we're going to be at. Dude, if we get access to this whole place, wouldn't that be sick? That's too much. They wouldn't give us that, would they? That's too much. For a linear game, there's no way. Either way, super excited about Mafia the Old Country. We will get it August 8th when it comes out. Play it day of. Not sure how long the story is going to be or anything like that. I would go check it out if I were you guys for the price. It'll at least be interesting and worth it. Hopefully it'll be like 50, 60 hours worth of gameplay. I don't know. Anyways, I'm lucky the channel's game on. We just keep on gaming on. See you in the next one. Peace.